Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we're going to be looking at the Green Ranger. This is technically the Japanese release, so it is the Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger Dragon Ranger, which is really just the Green Ranger, the Dragon Ranger we know from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series. The figure itself is completely the same as the American release that's going to be coming out in a little bit. The only real differences are that I have confirmed are the packaging, of course. We don't have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers packaging for the Japanese release. This is the other one. The American release is going to have a 20th anniversary, I believe, packaging. But it's really not, I'm not going to bother getting that since it's the same figure and it doesn't come with as many parts. This one comes with 2 extra parts. One is the collar. You just pop the head off from the normal collar. It's just normal white collar normally. Normal. And this one has a red, white, and blue collar. Blue with the red and white stripes. And it also comes with, instead of the standard belt, comes with a replacement, another star-spangled belt. And those are from a particular episode in the Japanese series. But you probably aren't familiar with that if you're just familiar with the US series as I am. So the US release will be just fine unless you really want to get the Japanese version with all the extra stuff. Japanese version comes with this sword. I think it's called like the Sword of Darkness or something. I don't remember it from the US release, and I haven't been able to confirm, or from the US series. I haven't been able to confirm whether or not this is coming with the US figure. I think it is, but I'm not certain. It's actually done really, really well. If you look in nice and tight, all the little detailing, separate paint applications, the sculpt is awesome. This little thing is an actual gem, so it's translucent. The only bad thing is that the tassel is a solid piece, which they probably, couldn't add the cloth to that or the rope to that for a reasonable cost, so that's fine. But the blade itself is nice and metallic, and it's sculpted really well, so that's cool. And all the other accessories that we're going to be going over are part of the regular release, so I'm not going to mention them right now. Alright, so he stands. Oops. He has interchangeable hands, by the way. Of course. He stands just shy of 6 inches. So pretty good size, standard SH Figuarts scale. Really good figure. Now, some people are complaining that the green is a little bit too blue. I think it really depends on the lighting you have. Right now, for me, it does look a little bit too blue, not quite green enough, but when I was looking at it earlier, it looked fine, so that's not really going to be an issue. It's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and talk about the accessories. He comes with his dragon dagger, the little flute thingy, whatever you call it, that he uses to summon the Dragon Zord, and he uses it as a blade also because it is. But look at that detailing. It's really nicely done. The sculpt and the paint, super good. And as you saw, as I opened up, you could see that he holds it. He can hold it to use it as he does in the series. Tons of detail, everything you need there. And you already saw the other sword and the belt and collar. So otherwise, we only have a total of 10 hands. The hands that are on him right now are the ones for playing the dragon dagger. So he can hold it. Those are pretty much all those are for. Although you could use them to do some nice posing probably. Otherwise, he has 2 fist hands. Those aren't the fist hands. He has 2 fist hands, one for each side. Sculpt is good on them. They have the little padding things on there. So that's cool. So fist hands. Then we have closed grip hands. These are sculpted finger to thumb, so those do not open there. But he can hold his weapons with those. Then he has open grip hands. I'm not really sure why there's a difference. Maybe this is just to hold the weapons a little better. I don't know. I've been able to hold the weapons with either one. But these are separated between the finger and thumb. So that's the only real difference there. Again, I'm not really sure what those are for. And then we have the open hands, which are still pretty well closed. So it would have been nice to have a more open hand, but these are okay. So those are fine. So those are all the hands. Let's talk about the figure itself. The sculpt is pretty darn good. I really like the helmet sculpt. It looks perfect to me. Can't think of any real issues. Nice and dragony. Nice looking. Same thing with the armor. The armor is not made to come off on this figure, and if you want to have the Red Ranger with the armor, you're going to have to buy that particular version. They are releasing it. this armor will not come off and go on to the regular Red Ranger without some modification, without some work. So that's something to take into consideration. Personally, I don't really need the Red Ranger with the armor, but if you want to do that, you have to buy them separate. This thing does come off. It is articulated, but it comes off. That's just to hold the dagger. The replacement belt also has a little peg hole in it, so no issues there. This fits in nicely, just like that. So that's cool. Excuse me. The head is on standard SH Figuarts articulation. It's got the little ball hinge in the neck, and then the neck itself is articulated on a ball peg. Sorry. It looks like that was out of focus, so the neck itself is on a ball peg, so pretty well articulated. The head is as well. That's nice. Shoulders are on standard SH Figuarts articulation, so it's a ball peg with that extra collar on there to hide the articulation. And then that itself is on a ball hinge, so plenty of range of motion there. No bicep swivel, but it can swivel around the ball hinge, so that's okay. Then double jointed elbow and ball hinge in the wrist. So it hinges and swivels, and it swivels. So basically anytime there's a ball hinge, it'll swivel at both ends and is hinged. So that's pretty good. Double ball peg for the torso, for the upper torso and the lower torso. So pretty good range of motion. Not quite as much as like the Dragon Ball Z figures, if you're familiar with those. So it's not as impressive of an SH Figuarts figure as the Dragon Ball Z ones, but it's good enough. And the belt does hide the articulation for the most part, and you'll get enough posing out of it, so I'm okay with it. The hips are similar to the Dragon Ball Z in that the ball peg is hinged so that it can be relocated down to give you a better range of motion, and that's pretty effective, so I'm okay with that. That connects with a ball peg into that thigh joint, and then the thigh itself swivels on top of that. So pretty good range of motion there. Double jointed knees. Not the best looking knees we've seen from Figuarts. These are pretty ugly in line with the Play Arts figures, but it's okay, and you know, it'll get the posing done. It's really good range of motion. It's just a little bit ugly. The ankles are the same as the wrists. They swivel at the top of the ankle and at the bottom and are hinged. So pretty good range of motion. Really any range you want to get, you'll be able to. The only limitation, which is kind of a big deal I guess, is that you can't go too far forward without forcing it, but you have the toe hinge. So it should be good enough. I mean, you should be able to get this guy in pretty much any poses you want. He doesn't come with any sort of standard display base, but at Comic-Con they're going to be releasing a pack of bases for the Red and Green Ranger, so that's an option if you want that. I'm sure those won't go for too much, even secondary market or third, I don't know, whatever, however they consider that. On eBay you should be able to get them for pretty cheap, because I don't see those being a huge seller, but you never know, I could be wrong. So either way, that's a pretty cool figure. If you're a fan of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, this is one to get. That's why I got it. Again, I'm not familiar with the Japanese version, the original versions. Even though this is the Japanese version of the figure itself is the same, so you'll be happy with that. Paint details are good, sculpt is good, articulation's good, accessories are good. What more do you need? Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.